Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
Uh-huh.
So, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the one, the only We Got Next. As always, I am one of your hosts of the show, Hayes, aka AO Shifty, with the one, the only, the great one, Steven at Steven_Springs. Before we get started, Steven, I'm going to switch things up. I was actually over at Banditos 2 weeks ago in
Oh,
Fulton
wow.
because, there's none on this side of town. So I got to go to way down yonder to the
Shout out.
Baltimore side. Yeah. So I was like, damn, I remember the first time we ended up going there. But kind of getting into everything, what's been going on with the quick slants, kind of give a little snippet because we know what you're probably going to talk about this time around.
Yeah. Penn State lost again to another top 10 team, top 5 team. Your boy was at the game, as always. Disappointing to say the least. I've recorded little snippets of the quick slants. It's gonna be a little longer than usual. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm just throwing out random thoughts about the situation at Penn State. Now we fired our offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ten championship is no longer on the menu. Trip to the playoffs no longer on the menu. 10-2 next year will get us in the playoffs when it's 12 teams. But the goal this year was to get to the playoffs as a 4 team, and it ain't gonna happen. So it is what it is. Trying to be as realistic as possible when it comes to this. So to get the full rundown of things, y'all listen to the quick slants this week. It'll be out Thursday night. Like I said, a little bit longer than usual, but diving into a lot of names floating around as Penn State's new offensive coordinator. So you never know. Bowl game, it'll be like hopefully early January. So ideally we have an offense coordinator by like Christmas or so, give or take. So yes, but Penn State basketball is doing good. Shout out to them. They're beating up on St. Francis right now, which is dope. Love to see that. Pistons are losing again. They suck. They're terrible. That's awful. But yeah, quick slants will be out Thursday night. A lot of Penn State football to digest. It was tough, dude. It was tough.
So a lot of different things. One, the only thing I'm going to talk about, because I was watching the Penn State Michigan game with the homies. And one thing that one of my friends I was with kept saying, it's the quarterback, it's the quarterback. But that's because they came from a non-biased point of view, not non-biased, but an outside perspective that doesn't watch college football. So automatically you're going to think it's the quarterback, it's the quarterback. Then I explained to them that this is almost damn near like their second coming quarterback. So it's not the quarterback. And then when I ended up telling them that they fired the offensive coordinator, they were like, well, someone was going to have to go like after that game, just kind of you saw the game plan with it. And then compared to like how Michigan was playing, it was understandable that someone did go. You hate to end up seeing it happen. I hate mid-season firings, but that kind of almost gets into the next topic I want to bring up. Before we get there, I have been doing the fantasy football podcast. I normally try to put it out Wednesday or Thursday. If you followed it, you did end up making money as well, because I did have 6 or 7 bets of different covers or over unders that I ended up doing, and also spreads. So did turn out well. I did also, one of them, for anyone that's wondering, I did end up choosing the plus spread on the Browns. That ended up coming through, unfortunately, but I knew it was going to be a close game. And that one, I also picked the Cardinals. So just go back and listen to those, and I'm going to do it again this week. Kind of just diving into the next part is the hot takes. So I actually brought the first one up at work because they asked me what's been going on recently, any pros or cons. I said, I'm actually going to leave my job by the end of this month. And they're like, why? And I said, I'm going to become a college football coach and just get fired. Because and then the topic I want to bring up is $76 million. And on top of that, he gets $19 million within 2 months. Then after that, he gets paid out till 2031. So for anyone that doesn't know who we're talking about, it's Jimbo Fisher, and he's going to get another job, but my man does not have to work ever again, or he just give this money to his grandkids or the grandkids. But what are your thoughts, one, on the buyouts, and would this ever happen at your job?
No, it would not. No, it would not. Only in sports, as they say.
Only in sports.
But I mean, That's a lot. That's another reason why Penn State football is not going to fire James Franklin. Um, like first of all, he'd have to go like 2-12 or like 2-10 to even be on the hot seat. So there's that. But Penn State owes James Franklin, I think, north of like $60 million as well, because they signed him to a big deal, like a 10-year deal. So there's that. The buyouts are nuts, dude. Like you're not doing your job. Like Jimbo Fisher won a national title at Florida State. Granted, he had the Heisman Trophy winner, Jameis Winston. And Jameis had a great season, right? Won the Heisman. And then he goes to Texas A&M. My man has gotten. There's so much money at that school; it's unbelievable. My man has gotten top recruiting classes left and right. He had one of the best recruiting classes in the history of recruiting classes come through.
Yeah, he did.
Like better than some of Georgia's recent ones, Ohio State's recent ones, Alabama's under Nick Saban. He put together the top recruiting class, and he consistently wins maybe 8 games, 7 games. So like you're not doing your job to like win. I know it's Texas A&M came over from the SEC, from the Big 12 to the SEC. I know you're playing Georgia and Bama and Florida. You're playing all these teams and LSU, whatnot, Auburn's, like really good teams. By far, like top to bottom, probably the best conference in America. Big Ten has an argument, but more balanced teams probably goes to SEC. Regardless, you're playing all those teams, and you're not winning, so you're gonna get fired. That's what happens in coaching. Like if you don't win, like that's the bottom line. Like I don't care how you win. Like win games. That's it. That's what you're getting paid to do. And he didn't win enough games. He got fired, but they're paying him $76 million to get fired.
And I would do it. You can fire me any day.
Like sign me up, dude. I remember hearing Ed Orgeron, former coach at LSU, after they won a national title, it was a couple rough seasons for him, and he eventually got fired. And I forget exactly. I'm paraphrasing all this, but I forget exactly what he said, like how he said it. But they were like, Ed, like things just aren't working out. We're going to go different ways, this and that. He's like, yeah, no, it is what it is. Like, fine. They're like, we owe you $19 million. And he's like, all right, well, which door do you want me to leave out of? Like, because I'll leave and I'll cash that check, bro.
Exactly.
Bro, $19 million, not even talking about $76 million. Like $19 million is life-changing. I mean, in more ways than we can possibly count. If I got fired, I don't even know if I'd get a severance package. I like they give me. I'd have to go take these monitors back. I'd have to go take my laptop back, all that kind of good stuff, and then like that's it. Then I go get another job, or try and get another job. Whereas Jimbo was probably already getting interviews for other head coaching jobs.
Exactly. Like he said, he didn't do bad. It's just it was not to the expectations of that school.
And have I told you my theory on coaches who wear a full headset?
You did, the ones that wear the video game headsets.
Yeah. And
it was him, Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher's got fired. Guess what? Full headset. Yeah, like I said, all the shit going on in Michigan. Guess who the head coach is? Jim Harbaugh. Guess what? Double headset.
Yeah.
I don't think Chip Kelly wears one, but he's going to get fired after the end of the season too. So that's unfortunate. But yeah. Speaking of getting fired, the Bills fired their offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey. After Ken Dorsey. Joe Brady is the new the interim offensive coordinator. He has Penn State ties, and he was on, I'm guessing he's still on James Franklin's short list of offensive coordinator replacements. And by the way, you don't fire your offensive coordinator at 8-5. And James Franklin is notorious for this. Like, if he's going to go fire someone, like his previous defense coordinator, Brent Pry, left for Virginia Tech. He had Manny Diaz hired within weeks. Weeks. There's no search party you got to have, like weeks. And Diaz was at the bowl game that year. But yeah, like all these coaches that signed massive, like look at this is the opposite kind of deal, but look at the dude Mel Tucker from Michigan State. They fired him, and they were going to owe him like $96 million or some shit like that. $96 million.
Crazy, yes.
Yeah, they fired him for cause and probable cause. They whatever they had to do to not pay him, and they're not paying him, which is hilarious. So yeah, the buyouts are, dude, like only in sports.
So I wanted to kind of go off of what Steven said because I looked up something earlier today that ESPN put out. And since the beginning of 2022, the Power Five conferences as a whole owe $146 million. Some of the names are Brian Harsin from Auburn was fired. He's owed $15.5 million. They had to pay him that. Scott Frost, Nebraska, $15 million. Paul Chris from Wisconsin, $11 million. Carl Dorrell from Colorado, $8.7 million. Mr. Herm Edwards. This is what I'm saying. All these coaches that get fired then get to go back to like TV and stuff. Herm Edwards got paid $4.4 million, and then Zach Arnett $4 million from Mississippi State. This is all since the beginning of 2022. You get fired and you get paid.
Those are big time programs too.
I know, yeah,
big time.
So
that's crazy.
That actually segues into my next thing that I wanted to bring up, which was going to be Arizona State because of Herm Edwards. And I said that because Herm Edwards has been talking a lot about how he definitely loves the kid from LSU. And if you look back on the history, he actually recruited Jaden Daniels. And can you talk to us about what Jaden Daniels did that was so big, but also what do you think about him going in the first round in the NFL draft?
You talking about the game he had against Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
300 plus, 200 plus.
Yeah. He had 320 something yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, and then had 237 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. He had over 600 yards and 6 touchdowns against Florida. Mm-hmm. And like, no one's really talking about it. I don't know why. Like, if that was like Michael Penix, that was Bo Nix, I think they would be talking about it because I think LSU is not that good. He's still putting up like video game numbers, as they say, and like, Heisman numbers. But if LSU was a top 10 team, if they would have beaten Bama a couple of weeks ago, I think his name would be more in the Heisman. But I think it's a Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. conversation. Also, people want Marvin Harrison Jr. to win the Heisman, and I get it. He's, arguably the most talented player in the country and like the most important player in the country, aside from some of the QBs. But his numbers aren't like great. Like when Devontae Smith won it in 2020, he had like 1,800 yards and 23 touchdowns. Like mm-hmm. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to get close to that. Now, if he has a 300-yard game against Michigan and they go undefeated, then like there's probably a chance. I don't even think he'll be in New York. But regardless, back to Jaden Daniels. First round, you said?
Yeah. Some people are projecting that he'll go in the first round, so I wanted to see your thoughts.
I can't. Like, there's only a few, even like Caleb Williams, man. Like, some of these guys, and we have plenty of time to talk about this, but like Caleb Williams, even, like, I get it, but NFL defenses are not Pac-12 defenses, just so everybody knows. And like, if your offensive line breaks down like his does sometimes, you can't, like, you're not gonna have the ability to do that in the NFL. Like he has some speed, but he's not like, there's only a few guys who can get away with what he tries to do. And like Mahomes is one. Lamar Jackson can do it, not as like productively as, is productively a word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Not as productive as, that sounds better. Not as productive as, that just sounds better. Productively doesn't sound like a word. More productive than Lamar Jackson, because Lamar is, sometimes inaccurate when he gets out of the pocket, whatever. And Michael Vick back in the day could do that, but like he was just bullshitting the whole time. So
yeah.
Like I like Caleb Williams. I think he'll probably be the first quarterback chosen. Drake May is another guy, but like, there's not like a Trevor Lawrence. There's definitely not an Andrew Luck type of deal that's coming out. He'll probably get drafted that high because he's putting up insane numbers in the SEC, which is very impressive. But and he did a little bit of that at Arizona State when he was with Herm Edwards. Shout out to Herm. But first round. Look, dude, I didn't like the Steelers drafting Kenny Pickett in the first round, and I'm still not like, I still don't like it. We're winning games 6-30 somehow, but regardless, we'll talk about that. Yeah, first round, I don't think so. But teams do it all the time. They need a quarterback, and there's going to be plenty of teams that need quarterbacks. Would it be surprising? No, not at all. Do I think he's a first round quarterback? No. I don't.
Mhm. Okay. So that
It
was
was
kind of like,
But shout out to
yeah,
Jaden Daniels because he has a very good chance of winning the Heisman.
shout
Like
out.
he'll definitely be in New York and putting up 600 yards and six touchdowns in a game
That's big. Yeah.
is like no one's really talking about that the way they should be. It's insane, dude, insane.
Hmm.
I didn't get to watch the game obviously, but I went back and I saw the highlights and it was just like could not miss, and they still almost lost
Exactly. I know.
to Florida.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that was kind of the big thing. We're going to switch gears really quick because, of course, we've talked about different things. They're kind of Steven's Christmas, and then Christmas, of course, is coming up around the corner. And for those in like the crypto and NFT world, I want everyone to just pay attention to something called Jupiter Exchange. They're doing an airdrop soon. And with this airdrop, it's projected to be kind of one of the biggest right now. I don't want to say the APR because it's crazily insane. But this is something I believe that'll be one of the biggest things talked about in crypto within the back end of 2023, early 2024. So just kind of keep that on your radar. But segueing back to different things that I wanted to bring up, I was in a stats mood this past week. So the next thing I'm going to bring up is I was talking to my brothers about just different things in the NBA, and we really weren't even talking about this specific player. We were talking about Tyrese Halliburton and kind of his assist to turnover ratio. And then I just was scrolling through different things because he brought up the Pistons. And I got all the way down to number 11 on the assist list, and that is Cade Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
Brother's man is some shit when it comes to his assist to turnover ratio. He has 7.1 assists and 5.3 turnovers.
Yeah, sounds about right.
How in the hell?
I mean, look at their record, dude. They're 2-9. They're gonna be 2-10 after tonight. What do you expect? I honestly do. For the life of me, like, you know how much I love the Pistons. I just don't know what's going on. They get all these draft picks, and I mean, I think Cunningham's going to be a maybe all NBA player once or twice, maybe, but all star guy. Then again, fucking you lace up shoes on NBA court, you're an all star. Dude, I don't know. Like their defense. Oh god, I have no idea what happens with the Pistons, man. The season's over. Like they're 2-9, bro. They're gonna be 2-10. This season is a wrap. It's not even the end of November. The season's over. That is unbelievable.
And we were over here talking about it was either the Warriors or another team that one year that just barely got between 10 and 15 losses, and the Pistons got 10 already.
Dude, I don't. The Jaden Ivey, I don't know what's going on with him. Like Jalen Duren, like puts up numbers on the boards, but like that's it. He's just like a slightly more productive offensive Ben Wallace, which is like nothing. James Wiseman, I don't even know if he's still on the team.
That he had a crazy downfall. Getting drafted by the Warriors.
Thompson.
Asur Thompson.
Yeah. He's putting up historic numbers.
Yeah.
Like good for him. Like, but he's he's not gonna carry the Pistons to the playoffs,
No.
It would have to be Cade Cunningham, but like he's not the greatest shooter. He's just like he's kind of like a lesser Grant Hill. Like a much lesser Grant Hill. Grant Hill was nice when he came in. Nice.
Yeah.
But it bothers me, man. Like I'm not picking a new team. This at this stage in life, yeah, I'm not. If I was like 16 or so, maybe. But like I'm 31. I'm not picking a new team. I'm gonna go rock with the Pistons. But like something like this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
I wanted to end up. I brought that up because the next part I wanted to bring up is hot seat or not, and I'm going to mix it up between a blend of some college basketball coaches, but then NFL coaches. The first one, just to throw a wrench in it, and I was watching the game earlier, and I thought about this. Do you think Tom Izzo needs to go?
Tom Izzo? Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird with college basketball coaches because, like, how much they do, like, how much coaching do they really do? It's kind of like, yeah, you're like they run the same sets. They've been running the same sets in college basketball for the last like 30 years. Not much has changed, and if you get like one or two really good players, one great player, like top 10 player, like you don't have to do shit.
No, he only has one championship since 2000.
Yeah, but it's weird because like every time we get to the tournament and his name pops up, It's like every year, it's like, oh, Tom Izzo, he can go on a run. He can go on a
Yep.
run because he's
And
done it
it
like 3
doesn't.
times.
Exactly. That's it. But kind of switching, I want to ask a couple of coaches in the NFL that I want to see your thoughts on it. So my first one is going to be Arthur Smith, Atlanta
Gone.
Falcons.
Gone.
Bill Belichick.
He's not leaving, dude. He has to. He's not getting fired. He's gonna leave before he gets fired.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I honestly think with him, they need to do it this offseason. That you just got to get rid of him. Sorry, let him walk. Get rid of Mac Jones. Get rid of damn near anything else because there's a difference between being Greg Popovich in the NBA and being Greg Popovich in the NFL. But
Yeah,
you
and
see
same with
what's
basketball,
happening.
dude. Like Popovich has Wemby now. Like he's just chilling.
Hmm.
Like in the NFL, you can't do that. You know,
No.
there's too much going on.
So next one, Brandon Staley, Chargers.
He's gone, dude. I'm surprised he's still there. To be honest with you.
I personally think he needs to go. Frank Wright, Carolina Panthers.
No, no, you can't do that to a rookie quarterback. As bad as they are, it's not his fault. They have a lot of injuries. I just don't think you can do that to a rookie quarterback too.
Matt Eberflus, Chicago.
Um, no, it's another one of those like maybe another year situation. Justin Fields has been hurt. So I would say that maybe another year.
Brian Daboll.
I would fire him just because of his name. Um, you said Brian Dable? Yeah, he's gone,
Yeah.
dude. Then again, the same situation. Your quarterback's out for the season. Been out for the
Bro,
season.
they don't need that quarterback. I think that's another one. Just get rid of him. You paid all this money.
I'm just saying. Your quarterback's been out. Barkley doesn't want to be there. Just free Saquon hashtag.
Yeah.
They've had Darren Waller's been out. The offensive line's been hurt, dude. They're just picking guys off the street to play off the offensive line. Like they won 9 games last year. They made the playoffs, or they won 10 games, whatever it was. They made the playoffs. I don't know. Like all these guys, like their team sucks because, like, not because they're bad coaches, but like significant injuries to like big time players. And yeah, the Giants can't move on from Daniel Jones. They're gonna owe him a shit ton of money.
I know.
Right? Like that's
Yeah.
another
You
thing with
just signed him.
yeah, like you just signed him. And I get,
So
yeah, no, I think I think Dable last. I think all those guys you mentioned. I think one more year. Like that's it though. Like if those teams are healthy, that's all you get.
my final one, and I have thoughts on it after you say it. Ron Rivera, Commanders.
No, I don't think so. I think there's signs of life there. Is Sam Howell really your franchise quarterback?
That's a good question. He's putting up good numbers, but I don't know.
Yeah, but like, okay, what like the goal is to win the division first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the goal is to win, get to the playoffs and go as far as you can, which is going to the Super Bowl. Like, there's no team that says, I shouldn't say that. There's a few teams that probably say, all right, well, we're going to be dog shit this year. So, like, let's just try and play our hardest and, like, get to the season with no, like, catastrophic injuries or, like, whatever. Like the Panthers. But, like, you have plenty of talent on that team. Yeah, you're trading away everybody. You're getting draft picks, and I don't know if you're not going to duplicate a Chase Young or Montez Sweat. You're not going to duplicate what they do, but you can put some pieces together and get some free agents or whatever. But there's plenty of talent on offense. You might need to get another running back, but there's no shortage of talent at receiver in Washington. So no, I think he's safe. I think he's good.
Going into our NFL picks, because I know some of the topics I have written down, we'll talk about it then. First game is Bengals Ravens, and personally, I think that this game will determine who's going to be the division winner at the end of it all. They both just came off stupid losses.
Stupid
as well.
Doesn't make any sense. I would say, man, that Ravens loss though was tough.
It was. They should not have lost.
Jackson did not look good in that one either, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think their offense is more consistent. I believe.
I'm going with the Bengals as well. The Ravens blowing that is one thing, but also I'm a believer in reverse psychology. I already put down a decent amount of money on the Bengals as well, so we're putting everything on the Bengals. The other AFC North game, Steelers Browns.
Shout out to the Steelers, man.
Shout out.
They fucking doing it. They've been outgained every game of the season,
They
and they're
have.
6-3.
So before
That's
Steven makes his
that.
pick, I'm just going to end up saying that whenever Steven chooses the Steelers, they usually win. Whenever Steven does not choose the Steelers, I don't really know how it goes. Like you chose the Titans and then the Steelers won. You chose the
I'm gonna go with
Steelers.
the Steelers. I think they're the better team. I think they're gonna win. Where's this one at, by the way?
It is in Cleveland.
What time is that at?
1.
I'm gonna go with Steelers.
Bro, this man legit talked to me like we were in some sort of spelling bee. And
Yeah, in a sentence. Well, I think some of those matter. Some of those types of things matter in that type of division. By the way, that division is just like what football is all about.
yes.
I love that. That division is so good, and they might get 4 teams in the playoffs. I think the Browns are gonna, fuck around and find out. But I think the other teams can all get.
Steelers and Browns have legit defenses. And it's I have to give a huge shout out to Minka Fitzpatrick because I know you saw the end of that game with how he was like, why the hell are we about to run this damn defense? And then the defensive coordinator and the defensive coaches were like, all right.
Oh yeah, let's ask the guy that actually plays and is
on
our
the defense,
all pro defensive player of the year caliber player.
Exactly. Yeah. So go with him. Just for shits and giggles, I'm going with the Browns. Bears, Lions. One team has been looking really good.
Let's go Lions, man. Those guys are on a roll, dude. Yeah. Also, if you look up the word man in the dictionary, Dan Campbell is the picture of like a dude. Like what a dude is supposed to look like. That's Dan Campbell. I love him. Big fan.
Yeah. No, you can't hate anything about him. He has the passion. They know how to use everybody on that team now. And I love that they're able to use Jared Goff. And that's another one. So they talk about 2 trades that were win-wins. The one was Tyrese Halliburton and then Sabonis in the NBA. The other win-win trade I would say is Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford because one got the ring right away. The other one has longevity and their team is relevant again. Like this is damn near their championship.
It's not like Jared Goff was. I say this phrase all the time. It's not like he was dog shit when he was in LA. Like he just had some bad teams. He took them to the Super Bowl. He didn't do anything in the Super Bowl, but like he took them there. I know they have Aaron Donald. I know he's Aaron Donald. I understand that. But like you still gotta have a quarterback on the other side of the ball to do it. And he did, and it was impressive. And it just just not a great situation from start to finish. And Jeff Fisher didn't help that. But I think both those guys, Stafford and Jared Goff, great change of scenery and thriving, and one is bringing the franchise back a little bit. So shout out to the Lions, man. Like you can't hate the Lions, right?
You can't.
No,
they've done nothing wrong, bro. No. They went defeated. You can't hate them. So
they went defeated. They did though. 0-16. God, that sucked.
Chargers, Packers. That's it's a tough game.
I'll go with the Chargers, I guess. This is if the Chargers lose this game, I don't think Staley survives the Monday, let alone the rest of the season.
Yeah. I'm going with the Chargers as well. Next one, Raiders, Dolphins. This should be kind of an easy one. Devon Achane should be coming back as well.
I'll go with I'll go with the Dolphins.
So next one we have is Giants, Commanders.
Commanders.
This is an ugly game, and it's in Landover.
Yeah, I'd say Commanders, I guess.
I'm going with the Commanders. Next one, this shouldn't even be a game. Cowboys, Panthers.
Yikes. I'm gonna say it just because this would be the most Cowboys thing ever. I'm gonna pick the Panthers.
Really?
Just like you can see it happening, right?
It can happen.
You can see Dak going like 11 of 30 for 158 in 3 picks and just have some bullshit game and what's his nuts Bryce Young having like 300 against that just like one of those stupid games that just shouldn't happen.
Yep. Yeah.
But like it's the Cowboys and it would be hilarious.
I'm going with the Cowboys by 30.
Okay.
But Titans, Jaguars.
Not even gonna worry about it. All right. The Jags.
So I'm going with the Jags as well. The Jaguars need this game because the team that I'm about to bring up next is right on their tail, and that's the Cardinals and the Rookie of the Year.
I'm gonna go with the Texans. If that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Also, another name on the hot seat has to be Mike Vrabel, right?
Titans, yeah, I know.
Right? Like, has to be.
That team is much different than what it was a couple of years ago when they were super close to going to the Super Bowl.
Super close, yeah.
Yeah, and now they're in this position.
Derrick Henry is like dying.
He is.
Like, I man just took a beating for like 3 years.
Down. Yes, he was a dog, and they just beat him down.
We all saw it coming, right? Like,
yes, they did to DeMarco Murray. Like,
you're giving him the rock 40 times a game, and he's just running into dudes left and right up the middle. You're not even letting him go outside. He's giving the ball right up the middle,
straight up.
I mean, I know he's big dude, but he was taking bigger hits because he was so big.
Yes,
I mean, took a beating for 3 years and just quit.
Yeah, he did. Got injured. Our next one, Bucks 49ers.
Oof, Niners.
So I'm going with the 49ers as well. They got most of their team back. Christian McCaffrey, for the first time in Ions, did not have a
18
touchdown.
games? Some shit like that?
18, yes. The odds for him to score a touchdown in that game were -200. So I know people were mad that you end up just losing money off of that. But Jets Bills, this game, I think, determines the Bills' remainder future.
I think the Bills win. Jets are bad. I watched that game the other night with BJ, my brother-in-law. Shout out to BJ.
Shout out.
Yeah, that was tough, dude. Zach Wilson is wildly inconsistent. He has his moments are like incredible moments though. Like, it's not like I had the argument with I don't argument, but I said that I trusted him more so than Kenny Pickett to kind of turn the seasons around for those two teams.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But which, like, if he still can, I don't know who I trust more, honestly. Kenny Pickett has a lot more moments because he has a better team around him. But and that's not to say that the Jets are dog shit either, because they got some talent. But his moments, like his great moments, are really great, but his bad moments are really bad.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett really make a lot of mistakes.
He's a game manager.
Yeah, which is fine because he manages a really like subpar offense in Pittsburgh. You're talking about Pickett, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just manages a really subpar offense in Pittsburgh. I think the Jets want to kind of be explosive, and they're not that. But again, his moments, like his great moments, are like awesome. Make some crazy throws. But his bad moments are like, ugh, that was pretty tough. That was bad to watch.
Yeah. Next one we got is Seahawks Rams.
Seahawks.
So I'm going to be what Steven was for the Panthers Cowboys, and I'm going to say the Rams. I'm only saying the Rams because Matthew Stafford's going to be back. This is going to be the final week before they get Kyron Williams back, and I think that they can win a couple of games when Kyron's back. Vikings, Broncos, they are doing something. Both of these teams are actually doing something.
I'm picking the Broncos.
Wow.
Broncos Nation, let's ride. Let's do it again. One more time.
My man had the nicest throw possible.
Bro.
But I don't know if it was the throw that was nice or the toe tap that was better.
Dude, that catch was phenomenal, but that throw under pressure, going the opposite direction, having to square your shoulders back up, full speed with a D lineman feet away from you, maybe like 2 feet away from you, barreling down. You have like the smallest window, like a car mirror to throw it in. And you put it exactly where you need to put it in. That was that catch was crazy. Yes. That throw was unbelievable. That was such a classic Russell Wilson throw. And there's probably like maybe 2 other quarterbacks in the league that can do that. Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That was unbelievable. No one's talking about that either because the catch was crazy, but that was unbelievable, like historically great throw in my mind.
Yeah.
And
I'm going with the NASA specialist himself, and I'm going with the Vikings because they been doing good. I don't know what's happening with the running backs over there, but Vikings have been doing good. And to end the week with probably maybe the first or second best game of the weekend, Eagles Chiefs.
Yeah. Where's that at?
Both coming
Kansas
off a
City?
bye. Yep, Arrowhead.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
So same way
It's gonna be
Steven
a
is.
crazy game though.
It's gonna be cold. What?
Yeah, freezing.
I'm going with the Chiefs as well to end it off. What you got?
Um, I talked about it on the podcast, but I really want Penn State to throw all the money at Cliff Kingsbury and get him as
Mm,
Penn State's new offensive coordinator. Um, if I woke up tomorrow and the breaking news was Cliff Kingsbury is the new OC at Penn State, I'd be pretty pumped.
mm-hmm.
Now, if it's Jimmy Lipper, some slapdick from East Boca Community
Yep.
College, I'm gonna be pretty bummed. Can't do that. So that is my thing. I want Penn State to hire Cliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator. No one's gonna want that. And
Mm-mm.
Cliff Kingsbury is not a state college guy. If you catch my
No,
drift, I don't think Central PA women are his
no.
thing. But
I,
regardless,
compared to the one he be going with, no.
yeah, compared to the ones out in SoCal right now, no thanks. But yeah, I wanted Cliff Kingsbury, so shout out to them.
Shout
Oh,
out.
I'm also gonna buy Mason, so I signed Mason up for flag football.
Mm,
And starting in February, I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm gonna go buy the kids some Nike Vapors and
okay.
bring back the memories. Anyone
Dang.
who's our age when those came out, when the Nike Vapors came out, like late 2000s or like 2010s. No, there was no you cannot find a better like sports shoe in the history of life for us than the
Mm-hmm.
Nike Vapors. And like those black and white ones, those old school ones. Yeah, I'm gonna try and find those and buy him some. Get a little headband
Those
and
would
all that
be
kind of shit. So shout out to the homie.
classic. Shout out. So my only one is I've been watching a new podcast recently, probably for the last month. Funniest thing in the world. I think almost better than like Busting with the Boys, I'm Athlete, Pivot,
Mm.
all that. Yo, the Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho
Oh my
Cinco.
god, bro! Those two goons they start. It starts off really good, like normal, and then like halfway in, something like Ocho says something, and Shannon Sharp just responds with the most aggressive thing, and they just go. That's it, and it stops, and it just goes. And then those guys are uncontrollable, dude.
So if you've never watched it, I think everyone should watch it. Ocho will be on the show, talk about he beat LeBron in a game. But other than that, we out.
Deuces.